خلق الإنسان في أحسن تقويم وفضله على كثير ممن خلق بإنعام وتكريم، فإن استقام على طاعة الله استمر له هذا التفضيل في جنات النعيم، وإلا ردوا في الحوان والعذاب العليم. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وهو خلاق العليم، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله شهد له ربه بقوله وإنك لعلى خلق عظيم، صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه الذين ساروا على النهج القويم والصراط المستقيم، وسلم تسليما كثيرا. أما بعد. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brothers and sisters, inshallah ta'ala, this is our brief reminder. This talk, bi'idhnillah, it's not going to be long, inshallah, and it's just a short, really brief reminder. Something that we need to get our day started, something that we need to really constantly reflect on. Why are human beings the way that they are? Why do we have some people who are more wicked than others? Why do we have some people who are who are less compassionate, who is not merciful, who prey on others, who prey on the weak? Why do we have individuals who are just despicable in terms of their behaviors, in terms of their outlooks and perspective? Why are they always mean? Why are they angry? Why are they constantly pounding? Why do we have this type of different contrast between people? Then you must understand something very important, and that is, it is the qalb, it is the qulub, it is the hearts. The hearts is what's going to set the tone. The hearts is what's going to set the tone. And inshallah ta'ala, we should see in some of the words of Ibn Qayyim, rahmatullah ta'ala alayh, pertaining to this particular flesh and how it plays the dominant and most leading role into how we have different people within the society. There is no doubt that we need to fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not look at our bodies. He does not look at our appearances. Allah doesn't care whether or not you got on the new LeBrons. Allah doesn't care not whether you got on the latest fashion, whether you're rocking Tom Ford, or whether you're rocking a pair of 7s, or whether you're rocking number 7s or whatever, etc. Allah doesn't care about those things. Allah doesn't look at whether or not your thobe is real crisp, or whether you have a sharp kufi, or whether your jilbab is the latest fashion. Allah doesn't care about those things. Allah does not look at your appearances. Not once do Allah look at your appearances. The thing that He's worried about from your appearance, if you need to know, is He's making sure that your appearance is in accordance, in alignment with what Allah has set as far as His injunctions. And that is, when it comes to a woman, her hijab should fulfill certain obligations. Those things need to be worried about. And when it comes to a man, those things, as far as his aura cannot be exposed, should be worried about. As far as him not having what we call isbal, being musbil, someone who wear his pants or drag his trousers or anything below his ankles. These are the things that Allah Jalla is making sure that you are aware of, because they fall under His injunctions. But He doesn't care what name brand that you have on. Not at all. Allah doesn't care about that. Nor do Allah Jalla only looks at two things. He looks at our hearts and our actions. And our actions are a produce or results from what's in our hearts. The result of what's in our hearts is what's going to be the effect, what's going to show and display in our actions. So the qalb, it is the place where Allah Jalla wa'ala looks at in regards to the servant. Allah looked at the hearts. And interestingly enough, if we was just to reflect on this, Allah is showing us, by Him not paying attention to our outer, He's showing us that the inner substance, the eternal, has more an effect and more important than the external. And if we were just to take time and reflect as human beings just on this simple format, we will be more concerned on how we look on the inside than we do on the outside. But it's opposite. We are more concerned on how we look outwardly on the outside, and then we are concerned about our inward or externally how we look. We don't pay attention to that. And that's important, because the Prophet ﷺ in the hadith of Abu Hurairah anha, that mentioned about brotherhood and sisterhood and about all of these different atrocities or things that you should stay away from, that the Muslim does not la tahasidu, wa la tabagadu, wa la tadabaru, that the Muslim doesn't do all of these things. He doesn't backbite, he doesn't envy one another, he doesn't put down one another, he doesn't try to undercut one another, etc., etc., etc. If you look into the hadith, the Prophet ﷺ said something very important. He said, at-taqwa ha-huna, at-taqwa ha-huna, at-taqwa ha-huna. He said there's three things. Well, ashiru, as the Rawi, the narrator said, ashiru ila sadr. He pointed to his chest. He pointed to his breast, meaning we're indicating the heart. He said that taqwa is located here. Taqwa is located here. Taqwa is located here. So taqwa is not what you say. Taqwa is not just what you do. Taqwa is what is inside your qalb. Do you understand? It's in that place there. Inwardly, if we were to look inwardly and then begin building outwardly, we would be better people, period. But since we start outwardly, we don't care how our inward behaviors are. And that's why you see the way that we dress. That's why you see the way that we carry ourselves. You see the way that we act. You see what will come out of our mouths, because it's an indication of what's in our hearts. And we're not worrying about what's in our hearts. It's important to understand this. So Allah is the one who rectifies the hearts. And it is that which rectifies the entire body. The heart itself is what's going to rectify your body. When we talk about your body, we're not just talking about your health. Okay? We're not just talking about your organs and things like that. We're talking about what is ever manifested or done by the body. The limbs is only going to carry out what's in the heart. Do you understand that? If you're doing wicked deeds, you're doing deeds that are bad, you are being offensive, you are being harmful to creation, you are being a menace, etc., etc., then that is an indication that your heart is black. That is an indication that your insides is dark. That is an indication that there's a stain and a blemish there. And because of that, that is the reason why you behave in the manner that you behave. For this reason, the Prophet ﷺ, he have, as it was mentioned, or as it was informed to us by the Prophet ﷺ, that if the heart is corrupted, then the body, the whole body is corrupted. Okay, the whole body is corrupted. And the place for a person to know Allah, to love Him, to fear Him upon knowledge, to fear Him naturally, and to have hope in Him, and the place for the intention which corrects and rectify the actions, for the actions to be accepted or rejected, or then it is no other place except the heart. All of this is located in the heart. This is how important it is. Your knowing Allah is located in the heart. Your recognizing His favors, His blessings is located in the heart. Your loving Him is located in your heart. Your fear of Him upon both knowledge and both natural is located in the heart. Your hope in Him is located from the heart. This is why they explain that the hearts have statements and the hearts have deeds. Statements of the hearts and actions of the hearts. Okay? Wa Ahl Sunnati wal Jama'ah, they explain these things clearly. The Prophet ﷺ, he said, إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ وَإِنَّمَا لِكُلِّ امْرِئٍ مَا نَوَىٰ. That actions are judged by intentions, and that intentions, okay? Actions are judged by intentions, and that each person will only get what he or she intended. Which explains to us that actions from this hadith is judged according to the intention of the doer, okay? And what it means by judge, it means in terms of being accepted or rejected, okay? That action can be accepted if the doer intention is correct. Do you understand? That action can be rejected if the intention of the doer is incorrect. Do you understand? That's the format. As far as the righteous actions being produced, then it's going to be located with the heart. Imam Ibn Qayyim, rahimahullah, he said something very profound, talking about this piece of flesh. He said that the most noble thing that's contained within inside man is his heart. The most honorable thing that man has within him and within inside him, whether it's a male or a female, is the heart. It's his heart. It is that which allows the person to know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to walk towards him and to have love for him. It is the place or the location for faith and recognition. It is that place wherein all of the messengers have been sent to address, to talk to direct. Revelation is aimed at your heart, not just your body, not just your limbs, not just your outward, not just your intellect. Revelation is directed towards your heart. If you pay attention to the verses, Allah Jalla wa Ala said, نُنَزِّلُ الْقُرْآنَ what? We sent down the Quran. مَا نُنَزِّلُ الْقُرْآنَ except هِيَ شَفَاءٌ لِلصُّدُورِ, except that it is a shifa. It is a healing for what is in the breast, what is in the hearts. Do you understand? Allah sent down the Quran so that the revelation can seek into the hearts, that it be in sync to the hearts. That's what Allah is addressing. That is what Revelation is addressing. That's what the Anbiya is addressing. So Ibn al-Qayyim is pointing to this fact. He is alluding to this fact. He is saying it is that place that's being addressed by those who have been sent to it. Also, specifically, it is the most honorable and most elevated place for Iman and intellect. So with Ahl Sunnati wa Jama'ah, we understand that intellect is located in the heart. We understand that Iman is located in the heart. This is why you see in Surah Hajj, Allah Jalla wa Ala said it is not their eyesights. La ta'ma ayunuhum. Their eyesights are not blind. Allah said it is only their hearts that are blind. Pay attention to the wordage. It is not their eyesights. They can see, but they cannot feel and comprehend what is important with that organ. You wonder why there is a wicked person, there is a sinner, there is a filthy person. It's a person that does all types of crimes, criminal, mujrim, whatever, etc., that can blow your brains out and sip a cup of tea like nothing happened, that can stab you like nothing happened, that can take a child that is 4, that is 5, that is an infant, that is 6 months, that is 3 months, and kill it and throw it down a dumpster. You wonder why these actions can even take place. You wonder why someone can rape a woman and feel nothing about it, molest their own child and feel nothing about it, beat a person, kill a person, rob a person, extort a person. You wonder why people can do these things? Then all you have to look at is the heart. That organ, if it's corrupted, then everything from that person or emanate from that person is going to be corrupted. Do you understand? If it's good from that person that happens, then it's only going to be what's contained of good in that heart. It is the heart that need to be addressed. It is the heart that need tending to. It is the heart that we need to work on. It is the heart that we need to worry about. It is the heart that is the main focus. It is not anything else. I can care how you look. I can care what you wear. I can care where you go. I can care less about your reputation. I can care less about etc., etc., etc. What about your heart? This is why the mu'min, the believers, and the muhsin, they have the best ahsanu qulub. They have the best of hearts. This is why they are able to be compassionate, able to have compassion for other than themselves, able to practice ithar, prefer others over themselves or above themselves, able to show mercy, able to show rahmah, okay, able to not to display these type of emotions and characteristics without looking weak, without seeming to be weakless or out to be seeming to be feeble, because in reality they are people who have the most ahsan to qulub. Their hearts were the most correct, as it was mentioned in the beautiful athar that Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, he said about the companions. He said that they had the most abrar qulub, that their hearts were the most righteous. They had the most righteous of hearts. It is that part. It is that part that we need to work on. Okay? That's the main part that we need to work on. Ibn al-Qayyim doesn't stop, brothers and sisters. He continues. He said, and that the limbs are only there to follow the heart. It's subservient. Okay? It serves the heart as if it serves the heart like the servants or the subjects serves a king. That's what your limbs are for. They're troopers. They are your subjects. They are your soldiers. So for lack of better words, there are those who are there to carry out the commands of the hearts. Right? For the one who is the person who look over and cultivate their flock, then that's what the limbs are for. Subhanallah, muqallib qulub. Then look and glorify Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the one who changes the heart. If we look at the word qalb in Arabic, the word qalb, the ulama, they have explained in the Arabic language, is that it's that which is qallaba yuqallibu. Okay? And it is used in this hadith that we get ready to mention, this specific dua, that the word qalb, qalbun, qaf lam ba, it is very close to qallabu, qallaba. All right, when you place a shadda on the lam, to change, to alternate, to fluctuate. This is why the heart doesn't remain in the same position. It constantly changes. A person constantly moves from to and fro unless that person has iman. Iman is what's going to root that heart. Okay? Creed is what's going to make that heart thabit and firm, that it doesn't shake, that it doesn't waver, because it's built upon that strong edifice, that correct creed, that sound creed that makes it strong and it doesn't waver. But the heart of man itself literally wavers because Allah Jalla wa'ala exchanges and alternates the hearts of the Bani Adam between the two fingers of Ar-Rahman, as it is mentioned in the hadith of our mother Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So Ibn Qayyim said, فَسُبْحَانَ مُقَلِّبْ قُلُوبٍ. So the one who turns the heart, the one who alternates the heart, how glorified he be and exalted, that he is the one who nourishes and who look after the heart as he wills from those things of the hidden unseen that we don't know. He is the one who come between a person in his heart. Allah is the one who come between a person in his heart. Allah knows what the heart does or what the person does from obedience regarding his or her deen. Allah is the turner of the hearts how he wills. Allah inspired the hearts of his righteous friends, his awliya, and Allah Jalla wa ala turns them towards him. So hasten and establish yourself and be upright in front of your Lord, the Rabbul Alameen. وَكَرَّهَ عَزَّ وَجَلَّ. And Allah has made this liking. He has made this liking or hated that these other things, others, and he had made it firm, meaning that from those who have turned away and went away, he said, it is said to them, "Uq'udu ma'a qa'idin." Sit along with those who sit, those who lag behind, who did not go out and fight in the way of Allah, those who did not go put forth the necessary jihad in the way of Allah. Allah says, sit along with those who sit down. Allah says, sit along with those who sit down. The Prophet ﷺ used to constantly make a dua, and he used to swear by this phrase alone. He used to say, "La wa muqallib al-qulub." That's what he used to say. No, I swear by the changer of the hearts. The Prophet ﷺ will frequently say this type of swear. La muqallib al-qulub. I swear by the changer of the hearts, the one who alternates the hearts. وَكَانَ مِن دُعَائِهِ. Also, it used to be from his supplication that the Prophet ﷺ used to say, Allahumma ya muqallib al-qulub, thabbit qulubina ala ta'atik. Thabbit qulubina ala ta'atik. And in one version, ala dinik. He used to say, O turner of the hearts, make firm our hearts upon your obedience, or make firm our hearts upon your deen. And Ibn Qayyim, he says, comment on this tremendous dua, and it's not going to be long, we get ready to stop inshallah. Ibn Qayyim, he says, comment on this tremendous dua, he says that if you were to truly ponder and reflect on the condition or the state of the heart, along with that which is in this possession, or along with that which is a king or shaitan, you will see something that would extremely amaze you. Okay? In terms that when the heart is dealing with its creator, its true king, its true ruler, versus when it's dealt with the shaitan, you're going to see two things happen. One, you're going to see that when it is dealing with the king, then it's open, it's expanded, it is vast, it is filled with life, it is filled with light, it is filled with rahmah, mercy, it is filled with sincerity. So you find it is filled with longing to repent to its creator, and it is filled with love, and it is filled with preferring him over anything besides him. And you will find that it does not have long procrastinated hopes, and that it does not fall into being deceived by the deceptions of this life. فَلَوْ دَامَتْ لَهُ تِلْكَ حَالٍ. And as long as it remained in this state, that it deals with its true king, its true ruler, لَكَانَ فِي أَهْنَئِ عِيشٍ وَأَلَدَّهُ وَأَتْيَبَهُ. You're going to find that it is going to be in the most comfortable position of life. It is going to be in the most delicious and the most tasteful, وَأَلَدَّهُ وَأَتْيَبَهُ, and the most pleasant of states. And I'm going to give you an example. You ever came across someone who is radiant, not just from an outward appearance, but they are so content, so satisfied, so pleased with their creator, and the creator act with you in the most pleasant of manner. It's just that they're so calm. They're not all over the place. They're not moving here or there. They're very calm. And they have a beautiful disposition when they interact with the dunya. They have a nice disposition. Yes, you saw this in the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When you read the ahadith. You saw this in the companions with one Allah ta'ala alayhim when you read in the ahadith. You saw this in their characteristics. You saw this in the a'imma from the tabi'een and the atba'a tabi'een. You saw this from the righteous a'imma of the ulama from both past and present. You saw that this calmness that they had, these characteristics that they displayed, because their heart was so content and satisfied. When you see people filled with anxiety, and I'm not talking about clinical terms here, I'm just talking about regular, because the ulama talks about this. But when you see people with grief, and actually he's going to mention this. Matter of fact, I'm just going to say what Ibn Qayyim says here. He said, however, you see the difference when the heart is subjected to the shaitan. And whenever the heart is subjected to the shaitan, فَتُحْتِ لَهُ مِنَ الضَّيْقِ, you're going to see this strain that's going to be placed upon the person. The person is going to be restricted, constrained, وَظُلْمَ, and there's going to be a darkness there. وَالْهَمْ, and there's going to be a certain type of grief that this person is going to experience. وَغَمْ, and a certain type of distress that this person is going to fear. And fear is going to be in a constant state of fear, which can translate roughly even to anxiety. It's not going to be immovable. It's not going to be sure of itself. It's going to constantly be in this state, وَصَخْتَ عَلَى مَقْدُورٍ, and it's going to be discontent with what Allah has decreed and determined to take place. You're going to find this person never comfortable, never relaxed, always moving to and fro, always sad, always grieving, always feeling like its world is in chaos. That is because the heart is unstable. That is because the heart is unclean. That is because the heart is impure. That is because the heart is defective. That is because the heart itself is filled with stains and blemishes. This is a reality that, wallahi, tallahi, wallahi, if we really take in consideration the state of people, is going to be based on their hearts. There's a statement that is attributed to Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah, the teacher of Ibn Qayyim, that if a person wants to look at their state in the grave. I want you to pay attention to this. If a person wants to look at their state into the grave, then let them look at their state of their heart. If a person wants to know about the state that they will be in inside the grave, then let them look at the state of their heart. I want to repeat that again. It's so beautiful if you really think about it. If a person wants to know the state that they will be in inside their grave, then let them look at the state of their heart. If you have a righteous heart, you have a pure heart that is free and not affected, and long for its creator, it is subjected like he described in the first scenario, then that heart is going to lead that person, as Allah Jalla wa Ala, he says in the Quran, fi Surah Al-Shu'ara and fi Surah 26, the poets, Allah Jalla wa Ala says, except he who come to Allah bi qalbin salim. You understand? That none will be saved, Allah said. None will be saved. Not his wealth, not his children, not his family, not his parents can avail him. Except illa man atallaha bi qalbin salim. Except the one who comes to Allah with a pure heart. You understand? It's the hearts. Ask Allah Jalla wa Ala, Ya muqallib qulub thabit qulubana ala dinik. Thabit qulubana ala ta'atik. ثبت قلوبنا على سنة رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم ثبت قلوبنا على فهم السلف الصالح ثبت قلوبنا يا مقلب قلوب. We ask Allah Jalla wa Ala to turn up hearts, to make our hearts firm upon His obedience, to make our hearts firm upon His deen, to make our hearts firm upon the sunnah of His Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to make our hearts firm upon the understanding of the righteous predecessors, and to make our hearts firm and pure, and make that it's free and adulterated from those things that will corrupt our hearts. You now have the answer why a person behaves the way they are. It's the hearts. Remember that. It's nothing else. An individual is wicked, an individual is filthy, is because that person's heart is affected. And depend on the amount or the extent of that affection or that defect within the heart, it's going to be how that person behaves and how that person interact with you. Do you understand? This is why we as Muslims and we as people of Allah Azza wa Jalla in the Sunnah, we always must constantly work on our hearts. I'm going to give you 3 things that will help your heart, inshallah, and I will close with that. The first thing that you can do to work on your heart, and it's very important that you do, that is constantly and frequently make dua. Constantly and frequently make dua. Okay? There are a lot of du'as that are reported from the Prophet ﷺ. The person who constantly makes dua keeps a sillah, a connection between itself and its Lord. And it keeps the heart longing for its Lord. Ibn al-Qayyim, he says that whenever Allah Jalla wa Ala does not answer the servant immediately, whenever Allah Jalla wa Ala does not answer the dua of a person immediately, it does a certain effect, and it becomes better in the waiting process because this heart undergoes a certain type of longing, a certain type of dependency, a certain type of yearning upon Allah, upon His Creator, and it actually moves closest to His Creator because it's in need more. He said that in that state, that heart is better than the heart that gets something immediately. You understand? And you can see this with certain people. If you have something that somebody wants from you, and you make them wait to get it, they stick around you closer, don't they? They even try to become more, be friends with you, more close, etc., be more nice and benevolent to you until they get it, right? But if you give somebody something they want right off the bat, they might behave a certain way with you, right? So you see that in this yearning, the heart yearns more for its Creator. It increases in tawheed. It increases in tawakkul. It increases in its dependency upon Allah Azza wa Jal, and it is better in that state. The second thing is constantly make istighfar. Constantly seek tawbah. Why? Because Allah said, Bal kana qulubihim. Allah Jalla wa Ala, He says, Bal rana ala qulubihim ma kanu yaksibun. He said, nay, it is the ran that covers their heart. And the hadith, the Prophet ﷺ said that whenever the servant commits a sin, that there appear a soda nukta, a black dot, and that black dot stains the heart, and that every time the servant seeks forgiveness, that black dot is removed. But if the servant does not seek forgiveness, that black dot continues and it starts to spread. And if it covered, then the heart becomes hardened. And if the heart becomes harder, it's blocked. So we know from this hadith, it indicates to us that istighfar, because one, you're going to sin, but istighfar, seeking Allah's forgiveness, and I have to give the brother props on this. I believe the brother Shadeed Muhammad, he had posted up recently that he was teaching his I don't know, 6-year-olds or class, and he had came up with a nice challenge, in which we call the 21-day istighfar challenge. Seeking Allah's forgiveness for 21 days until you accustom yourselves constantly doing it, because he based it off the narration of Abu Hurairah, where the Prophet ﷺ, he was reported in one sitting to seek Allah's forgiveness over 70 times, and in another gathering or another sitting he was reported to seek it over 100 times. And I believe that this is a beautiful challenge. If all of us can accustom our souls to seeking istighfar, this is freeing our hearts from the filthiness. And the third thing, last but not least, that will free your heart, no doubt, is to love Allah, Quran, and to love the Sunnah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Whether you understand them or not, whether you are at the ability to comprehend some parts or aspects of the Quran or even the Sunnah or not. Love Allah's book, love Allah, the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam Sunnah. These two ingredients, basically love Allah and His Messenger. These two things will help your heart become purified. Okay? These are the three things. Okay? Dua, istighfar, loving Allah and His Messenger. And that's what we was able to bring. May Allah Jalla wa Ala accept this from us. Whatever we said that was incorrect is definitely from ourselves, the shaitan. Whatever what is correct is from Allah Jalla wa Ala. Subhanakallah wa bihamdi. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Jazakallah khairan.